Howdy y'all, welcome back. It's time for Game 2, Scythe versus MVP Phoenix. I'm Gods from Beyond the Summit and bringing you all of the action from the Inaugural tonight, wherever you may be. Well, tonight in Singapore, this morning in America, and well, I guess getting on to the afternoon for you European viewers. Game 2 is about to be underway. Game 1 was won by Scythe, a well-executed Rat Dota performance from Miracle himself. No surprises there. We've got Game 2 to see if the Koreans can bounce back. So far today, a bit of a rough run for them there. 0-3 so far, a 2-0 loss to Execration, and losing Game 1 to Scythe. This is coming off of a win against Mineski yesterday to qualify. So they did a great job beating Mineski, causing pretty much the biggest upset of the tournament so far. But now they're in the group stage. Now they're in the main tournament, and so far it's been a big struggle for them. So we'll see what they got. Game 2 coming up. Can MVP turn things around? We'll see Scythe go straight into that first pick Enchantress. The same hero they picked up very early on in Game 1 for Chibix. So we'll see it once again coming into play here. Bat Rider and Shadow Shaman going to be the opening for MVP. So no Ember Spirit this game as Scythe banned out. Similar story with the Lycan, which MVP banned out themselves. I think Scythe say that game would have been a lot easier if we didn't have the Ember Spirit to push into. So if we go push again, we want to make sure it's a little bit easy to work around. The problem is, what are you going to actually push with? The Enchantress is there. Centaur's a nice hero just to round off any lineup with. Stampede, a great spell, whether you're a pushing lineup or a non-pushing lineup, just for the disengagement factor. If you try to go high ground and you're going to retreat, you can quickly do so. So, the Centaur picks I like, but MVP is smart. Like, even after these bans, they take out the Nagasarim, which is Miracle's best hero, practically. The Invoker also gets taken out, which is a hero which Miracle can play, as can Pelosin, and something which is pretty good at that split push style of play. Scythe go
Radiant team
Wraith King. Is this going to be a support Wraith King or a carry Wraith King? We'll have to wait and see. I'm interested to see exactly what's going to be coming out from these two teams here. As MVP, they got the Bat Shadow Shaman. They go into a Lifesteal, so they have Lifestealer and Fest Bombs into the Bat Rider. Give them their killing potential. But that's for Scythe. This Wraith King pick, I love it. It's always fun seeing some Wraith King lately. I'm definitely not sick of this hero just yet. Maybe I will get a bit sick of him eventually, but he hasn't become that popular. But he's kind of that niche little carry.
5 seconds remaining.
And we'll see what's gonna be coming our way here. Fourth pick now for your MVP squad. They've got their probably safe lane farmer for March and the Lifestealer, the Bat Rider for the offlane. They do need a mid as well as another support. Shadow Shaman +1. Sand King always good. They're gonna go Rubik though. Like, this is a bit less greedy than a Sand King. And it'll also give him another melee, or give him a melee support to go with the melee carry that is the Lifestealer, which we're not the strongest for their lanes. Well, Scythe, what are they? They can run the Wraith King as like a support with the Enchantress. It's a good roaming duo. Well, I mean, that's better for an Enchantress, but Wraith King offers a lot in the mid game when he hits that level 6. Has the reincarnation, not to mention Lifesteal, which signals if it's a support Wraith King, you want some kind of a right-click carry that can benefit from the Lifesteal. And often a ranged right-click carry, because they can't normally get good Lifesteal unless they go for that Satanic. But you can skip this Lifesteal completely with a Wraith King on your team if you want to. So we'll see what Scythe have in mind. I don't know what Miracle's going to be playing this game. I mean, he could be his Wraith King, but not really a typical Rat Dota style hero. Look at like heroes. I mean, there's your Lunas, your actual hard carries, your Spectres in the pool, which do work fairly well. Luna always does pretty well against melee carriers, because Luna, I mean, it doesn't have the greatest attack range, so having melee carries come to you so you don't have to chase them around is always quite handy. I'm wondering if it's just too greedy, though, to have a... Well, you could Wraith King, what, safe lane, farm, center, off lane. You'd need another good semi-carry for the mid lane. A TA-style hero. Shadow Fiend even isn't bad. You're kind of greedy RTs. I think the big Miracle hero that's still in the pool is Morphling. He's played a lot of Morphling, and that's, to me, is another hero that you look towards as far as having the ability to just win the game through split pushing, being a menace, and making life as tough as possible for MVP. But now they pick up Dazzle. Ooh. Dazzle Enchantress, get the heals to go with this. They just want to pick up manly frontline heroes. So they have Wraith King and Centaur. I'd love to see him just pick up another beastly initiator type, like Slaughter type hero. Axe. They do need some carry, but I guess Wraith King's maybe enough. They're going to ban out the Storm Spirit MVP.
Dire team ban.
I think they do need that initiation, but like an Axe offensive trailing type draft here could be nice. Queen of Pain getting
Radiant
banned out. That's kind of
team
QO's go-to hero often, and QO does not have anything to play just yet, so no Quap, no Storm for him. You look towards Mirana. Okay, that's going to be a solo mid. I like this. It's pretty versatile. Doesn't commit to too much, doesn't lose too many lanes, doesn't really dominate any lanes, but it's very hard to just say, okay, they've got Mirana, let's crush this Mirana by using such and such. Alright. So, we'll have Scythe now. Last pick coming their way. They got lots of time to think this one through. What's it going to be? What's it going to be?
10 seconds remaining.
See, I still get confused with the Wraith King. I still want to call him Skeleton
5
King.
seconds remaining.
I just call him the King. He's the Dota 2 equivalent of Snake King. But 35 seconds now to decide what this last pick may be for Scythe. They have options available, but I think to me Morphling or Shadow Fiend are the two heroes that stand out. I think they need more actual damage output. It can either come through a right clicker like Morphling Shadow Fiend, or it can come through a heavy nuker, which is like your Storm, your Puck, those style of heroes. Scythe aren't convinced on any of those options just yet, though.
10 seconds remaining.
They're really, really chewing through all their time, in fact. I'm wondering if we're going to see something completely out of left field with this last pick. Find out in just a second. Shadow Fiend it is. Okay. Is this going to be a Miracle Shadow Fiend, or do they just put Pelosin onto it and Miracle on the Wraith King? For now, I'm not going to find out immediately. Actually, Freedom going to be playing the Enchantress, so Freedom and Chivik swap up their roles in this second game. Freedom obviously known for his jungle abilities back in the Zenith days, but just looking at game 1, it was Chibix playing the Enchantress. I guess that was also partly because Skywrath Mage is one of those quirky support heroes that Freedom loves to play. And I guess they say, look, either of us can play Enchantress, but Freedom wants his... He wants his Skywrath Mage. Dazzle? Nah, I don't want it. But Skywrath Mage? Yes, you sure as hell bet he does want it. So guys, it's game 2. It's 1-0 lead for Scythe. They took game 1 of the best of 3. At least one game left. This could be our last game of today for the Inaugural. Should it get won by Scythe Gaming. But MVP are looking to bounce back. They've got Ryzen playing the support Rubik. Boots first of all things. He's going to scatter Pelosin here at the top lane. Lifts him up. Arrow to follow. Pulls him back into it. This should be first blood. He picks up a point in the stun. He's going to throw it on the Rubik, but this is first blood. Nice start. He was not watching his computer. Like, he was just standing here. He didn't even react to the Rubik running out of him. I was just caught asleep at the wheel. And the only player I introduced so far, Raisin, was the one leading the way. We'll introduce the rest of the MVP team. We've got March playing the Bat Rider. He's actually gearing up for a solo build, possibly solo mid. Heen on the Shadow Shaman. Got Forev playing the Mirana. And then finally, Lifestealer actually going to be played by QO. Is he going safe lane solo? I think he may be going solo bot. Because we are going to look at Scythe. They've got Hannah playing an off-lane Centaur. Mid lane's going to be played by Miracle and the Shadow Fiend. We've got Freedom playing the support Enchantress, Chipix on the Dazzle, and then finally, on the carry role, Pelosin on the Wraith King. The death doesn't hurt him. It helps MVP, but he doesn't actually really lose gold from it. Or like very, very tiny amounts. Oh my, Heen's found himself a sneaky little spot here. The problem is Miracle's got too good of a block. Misses that first last hit, that Napalm just messing up with his turn rate. Raisin's invis. Maybe they can get this kill. The block is nice, but if he can get in for his shackles, then you pull him away and get the shackles off. Miracle's playing very far back. I think he realizes all the napalm stacking is like, wait, why would he stack that many napalm? There's a big creep wave here. Too many creeps is the problem here, and that's where you can't go in. I don't know if Miracle's actually going to push the low gun here. Invis is going to be wearing off. They are going to go in now. There's 3 napalm stacks and no level 2 on the Bat Rider, but I don't know if they're going to need it. Miracle should go down. A lot of napalm stacks. One more right click. He buys the TP before he dies, and that's a second kill going MVP's way. Really smart rotations and just patience. Patience is the name of the game as MVP get their second kill of the game. Miracle going to TP himself in. It's a nice raise. Actually gets himself a couple last hits with a level 1 raise. Not exactly something you normally see every day of the week, but he's looking to just pick up some souls as fast as possible. The support's Raisin going to rotate back towards top lane. Offensive tri lane. It looks like they're going to set up another arrow here. Pelosin could be in some trouble. There's a leap forward. Should see maybe, was Mirana going to go for this one? No, Shadow Wave is going to destroy the Rubik. A leap forward probably would have been the death of the Mirana as well. Probably a good thing that Mirana didn't go for it. And Chibik, trade blows here with Forev. I think Rubik will look at that and be like, that's my bad. Because he's probably thinking like, dude, why don't you leap in? And then he'll look at that and be like, wait a second. Yeah, no, we weren't getting that kill. Chibix, the heal bomb was clutch. That's where you're hoping Dazzle either had Poison Touch or even Grave. That's Grave. Sure, it keeps Pelosin alive, but you chase him down. Without heals, you can't get that counter kill, and you can't... Well, you can keep Pelosin alive either way, but you leap after him and just chase him down if you go Grave, and wait for the Grave to wear off. 2 points in the stun now for Pelosin. As we look towards this bottom lane, that's where the supports have ended up. So they were thinking about offensive trialing and decide now not to go for it. They smoked. Centaur was nearby. If he goes and scouts this camp out, he'll be like, wait, where did these supports go? I like this smoke because Centaur may be reporting, hey, they're pulling. Like, they're actually not in... They're still in the jungle. Miracle may not realize they're leaving because the pull has just gone on. Oh, they get another kill at top lane. Pelosin Graves. But bit of play there. We'll keep an eye on this smoke gank mid, though. Rubik's going to be looking for that lift, and I think at this point, Centaur's probably saying, look, the supports, I don't know where they are. He gets revealed. Did he walk too close? He walked too close. Oh, Rubik. Oh, no, no, no. This is, I think, gank over. If he got revealed from the smoke, he probably got revealed in actual vision. So Miracle, I think, realizes what's going on. And Miracle all day, MVP all day long have been getting first blood in these games. They got first blood both games against Execration and both games they lost. And here, first blood again going their way. They get these really good starts. They get nice early rotations, nice early ganks. As they are going to get the salve. Bit of clutch play there from Chibix. 4F should have chased for one more right click. Fortunately, it's too late now, but they need to carry that towards the mid game because we're already back to 2 kills apiece. Chibix could deny himself to neutrals, but he is level 4, so it's a slightly longer respawn time at level 4, but I think it still would be slightly faster. I think level 5 is the point where you don't deny yourself to neutrals. Like, if he denied himself... If he went... Because he survived, like, over here. He could have denied himself to this camp here after using all his gold and healed up, respawn... He probably would have respawned by now, and he'd be leaving Fountain on full HP, full mana, so... A very small thing, and I know a lot of players like, well, you don't want to have that death to your name, but at the end of the day, you just do what's most efficient. That's where I feel that like stats like KDA are just kind of silly. I mean, stats in Dota 2 are just, they're only meaningful within reason.
Don't run off.
Chase is now on, and looks like Enchantress will scurry her way out of there. Poison touch with him. Oh, March gets destroyed. That Shadow Wave heal bomb with the poison touch, and now Raisin on the high ground. He's almost in some trouble here. Miracle's chasing, looking for that long range, but boots up on Rubik means he'll be okay. No boots for Miracle, actually, at all. So, oh, arrow. Close to landing, but nicely sidestep. This Dazzle's been working overtime with these Shadow Waves. Dazzle's level 4. Going to keep on stacking. That's mostly for the Shadow Fiend. Miracle's going to be all about catching up in the jungle. Enchantress taking a few of these, but this stack here, triple stack and no golems. That's what Miracle's going to be happy to see, I tell you that. He's got a full magic stick now. Has enough money for the boots, which he should be picking up with his bottle on the way out. So, 3 kills to 2. Suddenly it's Scythe starting to at least nudge themselves forward. It looks like Wraith King going to be going for a early bracer. Probably pick up a Drum of Endurance later on with this. Heen's now at the bottom lane. He's hiding himself in these trees, possibly looking for Hannah here. Hannah's not level 6 yet, which makes his skill possible. They're going to go in with the open wound. Shackles is going to be there if they need it, and Hannah locked into place. I think this is going to be a kill. Kuo, nicely played. Gets the initiation, and Heen comes in unexpectedly from the side there. So they get a kill on the Centaur. He needed that level 6 if he wants to survive that one. So he can stampede out of the open wounds, but just like a third of a level short. Yeah. Boro back top. He's gone Boots Aquila. He's actually struggling to farm. Despite... It looked like he would have a good time after he helped out get the first blood. The first blood didn't help him. That was first blood, what, picked up by the Bat Rider or something? It's done at top. Going to get disjointed. That's Bat Rider. Speaking of him, he's actually in the jungle here. Doing what he does best. Farming towards that Blink Dagger. He's going to have it. Now, he's got Blink Dagger, so... He TP's home to pick it up, and he's going to be looking to immediately go ganking. Probably wants to get a smoke with this. He doesn't have money, but that's where you just holler at your supports. Be like, someone get me TP, please. I need it. Maybe one of the, Heen, yeah, Heen's got a smoke. So he can smoke with Heen here. They're actually going to go for a 3-man smoke, and Miracle's the big target they want to get. The question is Miracle expecting a Blink Dagger at this stage of the game? And my guess is on no. There is an Enchantress sitting behind, and Enchantress may shield SF here. No, Batrider comes in. There's your lasso. They should have the damage to bring down Miracle. Yeah, there's no way out of Miracle. He's going to... Oh, this Stampede almost was a salvation. They get the Shackles, though. He really waited for that Shackles. I think he should have just used it right away to be safe, because if he somehow Stampeded out of the Shackles range, that would have been a disaster if he escapes. At the same time, maybe he was expecting the Telekinesis, which was used, though. So they commit as much as they need to try and get that kill, and killing off Shadow Fiend is a nice little pickup. The stack's being cleared off, it looks like. And now the rotation through. They're going to run into Chivik soon. He's got Grave, has Boots as well as a TP, so if you use all your disables, he can Grave and TP out, but there's a lot of disables across the board. 4, to be exact, between this gank and... Uh-oh, Dazzle. He's going to run up here. It looks like he may get caught. There's your lift. Arrow should follow. Chivik's may... Oh, he's actually going to be... He saves the Grave. He's trying to go in for a heal, but the Hex is there. Grave! No, he doesn't get the chance to. Pelosin. That almost worked wonders. He was trying to go in for a heal as well as Grave, and Pelosin now, he's got... He can stun and reincarnate. He pops a stick. Is he going to turn and stun? No, he wants to try and save the reincarnation. That, like, 5-minute cooldown. 4 and a bit minute cooldown is just not worth it. And Batrun's going to show up and actually break the reincarnation. That's worth it for March. Talk about long cooldowns. Arrow going to go flying, and March actually has Lasso soon, but unfortunately he won't have it. By the time he has it, he won't have the Firefly anymore.
Radiant's
Looks
middle
like they
tower
tried to
is
kill
under
Lifestealer
attack.
bottom. This creeps at front. That's not... Uh-oh, that's not good, Lifestealer. He's going to pop out, heals himself back up. He's on the run, does have Rage, so he'll be okay. Q's got the Phase Midas. Now an offensive ward being planted by Freedom here. He's one of the more impressive warders. Like, it's not often you look at a player and say, like, that guy's a good observer ward placer. And Freedom's one of those few players I look at and think, he always gets his team such great map vision. Getting behind the towers, making sure he's being very proactive. He's got the one at mid lane as well from earlier on. This one getting close to expiring, but this was very valuable when the SF was still mid lane. Because you can scatter it when the bat has blink if he doesn't use a smoke for his first gank. He did go smoking, but it's one of those things where you may as well have the ward, and maybe it does save the SF on some chance. Miracle has got a Midas now, so what's becoming kind of the go-to Shadow Fiend build for these greedy solo mid Shadow Fiends is what Miracle's going to go for. He's level 9, almost level 10. Quick bottom lane. There's going to be a gank attempt here. Courier going to go down. Courier's in trouble. He's got Rage. He can Rage TP. But the right-click damage may be enough to bring him down if that's the case. Luckily, there's no detection because the Moonlight Shadow will keep him alive. He couldn't actually Rage TP with the physical damage there. It looks like they're going for another gank on Miracle. Don't see any way out of this one for him. The TP coming in, but it's too late. Miracle could go down. Flame Breaks there as well to help out. There's your Requiem of Souls. This is going to do some decent AoE damage. Raisin may need to be careful. He's going to pop the Enchantress heal. This is actually keeping himself alive. Big steal. Saves Raisin's life, it looks like. Pelosin's got his Midas up, so they're going double Midases here. And this is where MVP really want to take fights and get aggressive over the next 5-10 minutes. Because these Midases essentially do not add much to the net worth of these heroes. This is very deceptive net worth. This Wraith King and Shadow Fiend are more like 2k net worth. Maybe like somewhere in between, because you have to look at the Midases. They still give attack speed, and attack speed is useful for a Wraith King, especially when he's maxing the Mortal Strike. It's also fairly useful for a Shadow Fiend.
Dire's middle tower
but it's
has
2k gold for like a Gloves of Hate, so you look at it maybe like 500 gold value. Close going to come back top, throws a Wraith Fireblast. That's actually valuable mana right now. Should a fight break out? He still has 2 suns, and he doesn't have Reincarnation, so he doesn't need the Reincarnation mana for now. So, not the end of the world, but MVP get themselves a tower. They're up 6 kills to 3, and they're in a better position for now. They're going to have to deal with this greed that Scythe are going for. And now Miracle going to find himself some Serpents. This is good money. And, well, not going to get too many of them. The Wild Wing was like trying to juice them up, hit a few of them once each to try to leave them for the Shadow Fiend, but then they expired. As SF will probably go back and Midas a creep here in the jungle. Go on his merry way. And that's level 11. I think he's highest. He's well highest level. Like, you look at Miracle and think he's 0-3, he's not doing well. I don't think that's the case. I think he's doing fantastic, to be honest. He's 0-3, but he's got 5k net worth almost. Like, he's behind Bat, behind the Lifesteal, but that's mostly the tower gold. That tier 1 mid tower giving a nice boost to MVP. Another Lasso gank, and this one going to be on the Enchantress. The arrow coming in as well will land, and that's another kill. MVP's ganking is really successful, and that's why you see Miracle. Like, I think Miracle's doing well, but they're still in a weaker position now. Just that Miracle's on track to be able to carry this game. Question is, can MVP punish him over the next 5-10 minutes of this game? They've got 4 stuff coming fairly soon on the Bat Rider. And, sorry about that, just got distracted for a second, but T1 tower top being pressured now, and the Serpent Wards once again being dropped. MVP being very proactive. Every chance they get with the Serpent Wards, they want to make sure they get a tower. Similar story every time they have Lasso, they want to try and get a gank. Even if it's not the Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend's ideal, but just an Enchantress, whoever you can get, they'll take. They probably want to maybe consider going for this Centaur, because his Blink Dagger could be one of these items for Scythe, which actually buys them a lot of space and allows them to fight a whole lot better. Radiant Courier will now respawn. That was actually, was that Q's Armored on there? I think he just bought that, but I'm not entirely sure. He's got Armlet though, and that's, or is it complete? I only saw 2 pieces. Isn't he missing the blades of attack? He can get, okay, he can get the blades from the side shop. That's what he'll do, I guess. No, he's going to send it back. He's confused. Is his blades on the ground? No, I don't know. He needs blades. He's not there yet, is what I'm trying to say. Well, Miracle Midas treads. We'll see if he goes for the BKB next. Not sure how much it's going to help against the Lifesteal Bat Rider. It's still always nice against Telekinesis, Arrows, Starstorms. Often you see the Blink Daggers on Shadow Fiends lately. Mantisal, I think, may be the more ideal item choice. Just have the illusions, get the extra movement speed, as well as just have that confusion factor when you pop it. Makes it a bit harder to get lassoed and right-click down. Into Roche they go. Oh, Heen's aware. They know this is going on, MVP. At least they consider it. Heen's thinking he hasn't got Serpent Wards for 15 seconds. That makes this a whole lot harder, but he's poised right above them. They saw them smoke, I think. This Observe Ward, I think, just allowed them to figure this out. They drop a sentry. They see Heen now. They know what they want to kill him before he drops the Serpent Wards. Can they do that? Yes, they can. One Razor Hole finished him off. Meanwhile, it looked like they lost the Centaur at bottom lane. He may need to buy back for this one. He doesn't want to. He's on very close to a Blink Dagger, but he may just need to buy back for the Stampede. Not going to do so. Arrow going to go flying in. That's almost the death of the Enchantress. Luckily, Shallow Grave comes in just in time. There's your Aegis. Gets snatched by the Lifestealer. Lifestealer going to go down, but that's Aegis. He's going to respawn instantly. Shadow Fiend's dead now. Roshan was taken, but Aegis was stolen, and now we're going to see Enchantress go down. The Shallow Grave having worn off. The Shallow Grave now being switched over to the Mirana. That was a Rubik stolen Shallow Grave, actually. Reason now in trouble. He's going to force his way out of there. Looks like we're going to see a bit of a bloody fight take place. There's another Courier's dying all over the place. Pelosian gets another kill. He's doing some work in these team fights as he picks up his level 11, but it's a complete team wipe in the end. MVP snatched the Aegis. Team wipe Scythe. Was there no buyback from... See, Centaur gets his Blink Dagger up. I don't know if it was worth buying back. Like, it was so tricky. 17,800 gold. His team are in like so much trouble at the Roshan Pit. If he buys back, it slows down his Blink Dagger so much. But if he had Stampede for his team, maybe that fight goes better. Like it's one of those like trade-offs. Like you sacrifice your own farm, your Blink Dagger for possibly the good of your own team. Like maybe if he uses Stampede there, or I'd say probably QO doesn't get a chance to steal the Aegis. I think MVP could maybe be scared away by a buyback plus Stampede, and that would have actually secured an Aegis. So I think maybe it would have been worth buying back for the Centaur. End of the day, though, he doesn't make the decision to do so. And MVP, these guys are looking good. 5-1-3 on Batrider. March is having a really solid game. Boots of Travel, Blink, and Falstaff. He's pretty huge. Definitely need to look out for him. And so there we go. They're looking for another lasso. They're going to find Miracle. Arrow not going to hit. There's a Blink stun from your Centaur. He wants to go on marching. Miracle kept alive by a grave. Is he going to go Requiem of Souls? Yes, he is. You betcha. Turn and race, bottling up. Is there another flame break here? March wants him. Miracle going to fight. Leap in from Forev. He wants Miracle. Miracle does he get bottle charges? Does not. The arrow not going to land. He needs one more right click. Is he going to survive this? 13 HP.
Dire's middle
350 movement speed to the 355. SF is going to get away. The Mirana cannot chase him down. Oh no. And now Freedom. Well, he's in trouble. He's as good as dead. Starstorm will finish him off. Forev says, this time I won't take any chances, but SF escapes. Miracle on 13 HP. Oh, so close, so close. That poor Mirana. Forev needed another leap, but just didn't have the chasing power.
Double damage.
Some clutch graves coming in from Dazzle, though. This Dazzle is coming up big in these fights. He's building towards a mech now as well. Chibik's getting himself a decent amount of farm. Well, for MVP, this is Korea actually looking good against some of the top Southeast Asian teams. They're going to find Miracle again. He's died 4 times already. Is this going to be number 5? The Stampede will help get him away. The Flame Break will just push him even further thanks to the Stampede. Miracle gets out of there. They needed the 4-staff back. Problem was he had to 4-staff forward as well as blink forward to get the pull. Didn't have the ability to bring the F to his teammates. Miracle back to farming. He's going to go for that BKB. So get that extra survivability in a team fight. Block some of the magic damage and the lockdown disables. BKB kind of Manta build maybe. Even BKB Scythe. I think his SF just has to stay alive, to be honest. He'll have the life steal from the Wraith King later on, so maybe he does want some damage output, but I mean Scythe doesn't gives you some damage. That's a lot of stats. The extra attack speed. The slow in your opponents just allows you to get off more right clicks as well, and see a TP top from Marana. I don't see this being a kill here, but okay. SF will happily farm away regardless, and Blade Mail's going to be the item of choice for the Wraith King. Always a nice pickup on this hero who's always in the front lines taking a ton of damage. I love the Blink Dagger Wraith King, and I think he can still go back for that maybe as his next item.
Dire's bottom tower.
It's well worth having initiation, especially against heroes like the Rubik, Shadow Shaman. These squishy supports you want to be able to jump on as a Wraith King, not get kited around. You need to get up close to actually get those crits off. Looks like tier 2 tower bottom will go down to the Serpent Ward, so MVP, more towers going their way. And they've got himself 5k plus gold lead. MVP looking really good in game 2. This is the team that took down Mineski. Here they are up against Scythe, who, in theory, one of the best Southeast Asian teams, and MVP putting up a hell of a fight. Definitely not a traditional Scythe lineup. Like that last pick SF, they really had to think through, and it was not like a go-to snap pick. Like they waited to the very last second of their bonus time. They were not convinced it was the right pick. At the same time, I feel like there was no other good heroes left in the pool. Maybe the Morphling for Miracle would have been a little better because Morphling is a lot harder to gank in that mid lane in the laning stage. This is going to be used here. Trying to make their way into the jungle, and there is a dire Sentry Ward, but Batrider going to fly into it, but they don't actually see the Batrider right now, so don't think well, they seem to have a pretty good idea of what's going on regardless, because they're hot on their heels. Batrider going to force-stuff himself in, once again going for Miracle. There's he? Oh, he gets stunned up! He gets blown to pieces here. Miracle just needs to fight. He can lifesteal. They've got the Wraith King. He's lifestealing back up. Q are going to go down, and Chantress ends the mega kill streak. 2 kills goes Scythe's way, and the big lead MVP have, I don't want to say gets thrown away, but it's quickly disappearing with team fights like that, and Centaur is thinking about chasing, but not going to get a chance to do so. Great burst damage onto the Batrider. He couldn't even cast Lasso. He was looking for Miracle, who was BKB'd up casting the Requiem. If you Lasso him, cancel that Requiem, that fight goes a little better, but at the end of the day, Scythe just had superior numbers there, and they were ready for that aggression. Now the tier 1 mid tower. Oh, stolen Requiem from Reason. He's looking to slow down this push. Arrow going to go flank. It's Chibix. He was blinking in. That's a ballsy play. He could be in some trouble. He's going to drop the Serpent Ward to keep himself alive. Pelosa's going to have to reincarnate here. They lose the Marana in the process. The slow is just so painful. Shadow Shaman does have a blink momentarily. He's going to Ether Shock, and this is actually a retreat. Scythe have to back off. They lost Enchantress as well as the Dazzle there. Both heroes getting caught out, so the Marana leaps into her death, but gets a couple kills in the process. The big arrow going flying in to lead things off, and well, we'll see Scythe back off for the time being, and it's a successful hold of this tier 1 mid tower as well, which at this stage of the game is quite important. You're on the Radiant side and want to stop Scythe going for another Roshan like they tried to sneak last time. Having your tier 1 mid tower up as a place to TP to is pretty crucial. That's something Scythe would love to find and take. Right now, MVP actually very aggressive. Blink forward into the enemy jungle blindly. Jesus, Ian. Control yourself, man. Flosen does not have Reincarnate, so I don't know if he wants to go leading the way. Probably the Centaur's your better best bet, and he gets a Blink Stun onto March. Can they burst him down in time? He gets a forced up, but the stun will follow him. Anna maybe going to need a Stampede. He does use it, but he was going to go down anyway to the Impetus. Now the chase is on. They're going to get Reason. Nice. Whenever this Batrider gets initiated on, fights go poorly for MVP. If he gets a lasso and 4 steps away, fights go well for MVP. The problem is, Centaur's realizing he just has to blink stun this Batrider, and then fights go well. And that's what we've seen in the last couple big team fights.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Well, here's a split push coming out. Kyo's not
Dire's
the
bottom tower
best
is under
split pusher. He
attack.
can force TPs eventually. He'll get this actually doing it down to half HP with the armlet damage.
Radiant's middle tower
Giving
has
Scythe a bit of their
fallen.
own medicine. The old split push Rat Dota. TP in from the Wraith King, and this is just going to be looking to repel this push back. Wraith King is up to 2.3k gold. We talked about the Blink Dagger build. Let's just see if that's what's going to be. He has the money to buy it. Career not at base for the time being, but we'll wait and see. Maybe just going to be a more standard armlet type build. BKB, also not bad. He's got the money for whatever he... Well, the armlet or the Blink Dagger if that's what he wants. Dazzle has a completed mech, importantly, as well. And there we go. He's going to fly that mech out to him as Hannah now, Blink, working on a 4-star, and he's actually got that. He'll go back to base and pick it up. All of a sudden, a couple good team fights, and Scythe pick up some big clutch items. Having a Manta Style on the Shadow Fiend, just 300 away. Manta Style mech
Dire's
4-star.
middle tower
Pretty much
is under
everyone just
attack.
bought a key item. The only hero who hasn't is Pelosi, but he's got the money for one. Unless he's saving BKB, he still needs 1k gold. And SF still needs like 300-ish. Your Enchantress, 500 from a 4-star. So suddenly there's going to be double 4-stars. And 4-stars are huge items to have. Like, those can be game-deciding items against spells like Hex and against heroes like Lifestealer. You Hex someone, and it's like, okay, this hero's Hex. We can focus them down, but you you can still 4-star the Hex teammate and save their life. Similar story, if you're being focused by a Lifestealer or Lifestealer's on someone, you can 4-star them and save their life. With a Basher to go through the SF BKB, 4-star onto that SF could be a big decider here. Duo now searching around the Sentry Ward is going to get dropped here, but it may be too late. Looks like the Enchantress may go down. March has gone in. I think he actually blinked into a stun. He gets Wraithfire Blast as well. They've lost the Enchantress, unfortunately. Looks like Chibix may go down as well. He needs to use this weave. Does do so finally, saving onto the grave. Really nicely played. They may have lost the Enchantress, but it's actually Scythe getting on the aggressive here. Kyo's in trouble. Flamebreaker to save his life, but nope, he goes down anyways. SF helping get the kill here. It's a 3-for-1 trade. They lose the Dazzle on the backlines. That's Shadow Shaman sniping a kill there. Forev also going to find himself a kill. One more right click. Look at the damage output. The double damage Shadow Fiend. You cannot fight into this one. Shadow Shaman the only one left standing, and he says, I'm hiding. I don't want anything to do with this one. Scythe, they've got the T1 mid tower. It looks like that went down maybe during that fight. And this T1 bottom tower is going to be the next target for the Dire team. And that's where suddenly Scythe are just so strong. It's going to be an Assault Crest build from the Wraith King. So more bonus armor and more minus armor for their opponents. So this, you combine this with the Weave and the Requiem, they're going just full armor strat. This Lifestealer is going to be so ridiculously squishy. And this Lifestealer just bought an Abyssal Blade. I didn't even notice that. This Lifestealer in theory can do a ton of damage, but he's going to be so squishy in a fight. Got the SF with the presence of the Dark Lord. You have Weave minus armor, and you're going to have an Assault Crest in no time at all. He's just like 800 gold away from it, and after this Roshan, well, hardly any gold away from it. I think MVP need to contest this Roshan. I don't blame him for trying to go in here. They've got Blink Serpent from Shadow Shaman, but got to get here fast. The Alpha Wolf is giving bonus damage, and I think they're too late. Batrider's going to just go ham. He's going to go in blindly, and unfortunately, he can't get there in time. Roshan going to go down. SF picks it up, and there's a Blink and Fest Bomb, but it's too late. Aegis is already there. Chibix can get Hex. He's the target. They want the 4-star. Almost saves his life. Pelosi now. He's got Reincarnation level 3, and Miracle, not the target you really want to focus. He's got the Aegis. He's now life-stealing back up. A couple bashes going to help bring him down, and bring down Miracle once. Can they bring him down the second time? It looks like Q are going to switch targets. Go into the Enchantress. Gets 1 kill. The Moonlight Shadow not really paying off there, and March still scouting around on the high ground. SF going to say, yep, screw that. Oh, he's trying to be a bit cheeky here. Leaves the Wraith King there, but he's going to get stunned up. March, man, he didn't get the blink off. The 4-stuff to the low ground. Really nice play from Hannah. He wants March. I don't know if he'll get him. Blink away. Is there a blink to chase with a double edge? Doesn't look like it. Forev drops a stun here. That's a reincarnated Wraith King. Hasn't got the mobility to chase anyone now. That's where not having that blink dagger really hurts. And SF the entire time says, you guys can have your fun and games. I'm going to just push. No problem at all.
Are fortified.
And we have got Wraith King Reincarnation down for a little bit, but that's a 60-second cooldown. So by the time a fight happens, it's going to be back up, ready to go once again. And Pelosin has his Assault Crest finished at base. Miracle. Butterfly almost completed. Just about 1k-ish away. 1.2k. Suddenly, Scythe. I think we're looking at Scythe ahead. Yeah, oh, that's a big dip as well. A 7.5, that's a 10k gold swing. 7.5k gold lead has become a 2.5 one the other way. Experience, similar story. 2.5k has become 7. It's a 10k swing once again. Defensive weave being used, and this is going to negate a lot of this potential lifesteal damage. Wraith King just trying to force out a rage. Not going to happen, and Scythe decide, let's just back off, play things. Oh, they're not playing things safe. They're looking for some of these heroes here on the sideline. Is Batrider going to go looking? The Stampede's being used. That's a stolen Stampede from the Rubik. Losen going to try to lead the way here. Miracle needs to be careful. He's low. He's going to get Abyssal Bladed up through the BKB. The Grave is there now as well. The Requiem of Souls, and Miracle can just lifesteal himself back up. They've lost the Shadow Shaman. Raisin steals the Requiem. Does a decent amount of damage, but really not enough. Need to do more with that one, and I think they're on full retreat mode now as Mirana fires out another arrow. Kyo has nowhere to fight. He's just too squishy in these fights. He does a lot of damage to the SF, but as soon as SF gets kept alive, the Dazzle's there with heals with Graves, and they can't keep the SF down. And that SF suddenly has a Butterfly in 30 gold. Assault Crest arrives for the Wraith King, and these heroes are all healed up. Dazzle plus Wraith King Vamp Aura is keeping these heroes so healthy. Mantisal in 5 seconds, and this is going to be a tier 3 tower. There's no glyph, and they've got to find some way to engage in. They're going to use the Moonlight Shadow here. Batrider gets a lasso. This is on the Dazzle. They want to try and prevent any Graves in this fight. Can they do it? Yes, they can. Counter Stampede from the Centaur, as they are going to lose a couple heroes in the process. Lifesteal being the big one to go down for this, but Dazzle's on the sidelines. Multiple TPs coming in. Pelosin has Reincarnation. It looks like Miracle just going to turn and fight. He wants QO. Blink stun from the Centaur. He just goes ham on the front lines. Miracle still fighting. There will be a Requiem. That's going to be the death of QO. Trading lives there. Wraith King going to respawn. He's going to be on the run here, it looks like. He may just need to turn and fight. Problem is there's so much lockdown and disables. He's completely on his own in the 4v1. This is where you get kited around. He can't even throw a stun. Batrider's just blinking around. That slow turn rate is just painful. And MVP, they team wipe Scythe, but it's still, yeah, it's still a good fight, but just it feels like end of the day that's kind of neutral. Maybe slightly MVP favored, but they lost the Lifestealer twice. He died, bought back, died again. And it's, I don't know, like they kill 5 heroes and what, they lose 3 maybe? Lifestealer twice? Okay, they lose Lifestealer twice and a few heroes before that, but yeah. I do feel like, okay, it's a victory for MVP, but just one where Scythe just overstayed their welcome just that little bit. SF just not having the backup he needed of the Dazzle. Once Dazzle's down, it actually goes to show Scythe struggle to fight without this Dazzle. That's where these 4-staffs from Enchantress and Centaur have to be really on point to try and save Dazzle. Problem is, when he's lassoed, there's not much you can do to try and save him. You've got to just... Centaur has to blink stun the Batrider, and he did that. He went in perfectly timed, then had the Stampede to follow, but it wasn't enough. The Batrider has a BKB, and team fighting gets a lot more difficult. Miracle's got his Butterfly up, but at the same time, Shadow Shaman, Ag Scepter, so more damage output from he. 4 of now. He's going to have a Manta Style in just a second after farming up these Ancients, but that's not really a game break. I always look at Manta Style as one of those items, like it's decent, it's neutral, but it's never like, oh, he's got Manta Style now, let's go push, or we're ready to fight, or this is going to change the flow of a battle. Best case result for me with Manta Style that can maybe change a battle is like disjoining a big spell, like a stun that's meant for you that's going to help set up a kill on you. You disjoin it and stay alive. At the same time, you can do that with Leap, and I guess you don't want to leap forward. You can just Manta and hold your ground, but... Good Scythe now. They've grouped up lots of heroes tops. Batrider's in a position where he can grab someone. If he could lasso them over this ravine, could be a way to try and start this fight, but he does reveal the fact he's here trying to defend, and the problem is SF is so far away and protected.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
That's a tier 1, and I think they're just going to go 5-man this tier 2. Shadow Shaman's thinking about just counter pushing mid, but at the same time you drop your Serpent, you don't have them for a team fight or a possible needed defense.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
TP's back though. It's like Miracle going to be the first one to go, and they decide this push ain't going to work, and let's just get out of here. They're going to maybe wait for the next Roshan. Oh, this is a Boots of Travel Infest Bomb. Inf is in. These 2 heroes, I think they can kill Miracle, but Miracle's smart. He's already backed off. Oh, that map sense. Miracle making a decision to back off, not feeling safe at this bottom lane, and with good reason. I'm so surprised he didn't try to push out further. I feel like 9 out of 10 players, even pro players, would have pushed out another wave and died there. That was a really, really big play from Miracle, even though, I mean, it wasn't a play. It was just a really clever decision not to push out any further. He does now go, now he rotates down there to push out further, but he's got Dazzle behind him. He's got that safety net. Not to mention the Batrider Lifestealer are no longer there looking for that gank. some players you watch them, it's just like they've got like map hack built into their brain. Miracle's kind of... Well, I don't know if Miracle's one of them, because often he'll be going like super aggressive split push and get caught out because he takes so many risks often when he's split pushing. We saw game 1 with Lycan. He died so many times as Lycan because it was just on the other side of the map and getting caught out. But on these like true kind of carry things, he seems to play a lot more defensively and just a lot more conservatively. He's alone here at bottom lane. His teammate's actually quite far away. They'll be there in time, and I think that's where MVP... They actually don't know where the rest of the team are, so they see Miracle and assume he's got backup. Reason will get caught out. That's a easy kill. Arrow. Good sidestep. That's a Stampede for a Rubik kill, but at the same time, it's a Rubik with no buyback, so that means you don't have to worry about spell steal. Something like a stolen Stampede can actually win an MVP a team fight, if you're not careful. Ooh, Centaur. Coming close with it. He blinked and 4-star forward, really looking for that one. Now SF just going to finish off the TP. Oh, tries to manta the arrow. Unsuccessful as Miracle. Oh, look at the damage output for Rev's in trouble! The hoof stop was enough! The Blink Dagger for Batrider also on cooldown. He must have used it just to go into the high ground. Batrider now taking big damage. Forced to use a BKB defensively, which means he maybe doesn't have it when he goes in. Close has been somewhat ward trapped here, but they can just kill these wards. Not to mention it's a Wraith King. He doesn't care about these wards. Miracle going to march forward. He's going to bring down Heen with like 4 right clicks. Trouble, trouble. Lasso. Going to maybe try to bring Miracle to the fountain. He's got the evasion here, though. How long can he stay alive? He's being graved up. He may just stand and fight. Requiem, anything. Miracle, you're dead. Requiem goes off. You get the racks aside. What are you guys doing? He's going to buy back. Has he got boots of travel? He sells some items. He sold his Midas just to buy boots of travel here. I think he can smell GG. He's going to TP onto the siege creep. They'll bring down the bottom Raxes. Mid Raxes may be next. Reason needs to be careful here on the Rubik. And it's just Batrider and Rubik. And with no lasso, no one else who can... I don't think he's going to let himself get pulled in the fountain for a second time. It looks like Reason stunned up. Should be a fairly straightforward pick-off. He 4-subs away, but that's just more damage for your Impetus. He gets blown up from like, basically half HP. They swing mid now. It looks like they want to maybe go for this last air Raptors. Buyback from Q on the lifesteal. This is a last-ditch effort now. It's a good timing for the buyback because Mirana and Shadow Shaman are here, so they've got 4 heroes. Batrider Lasso is back up as well. Pelosin, he's got Reincarnation, so he doesn't actually care if he goes down. He's going to actually slow everyone. There's a Blink Hoofstomp, but it gets dodged by QO 4-staff away. QO wants a Centaur. There's a Stampede, though. Miracle BK beat up. Is he going to drop a Requiem? He's just going to right-click his way to victory. Deals with the Manta illusions here. Throws the Requiem in the end. And it looks like now Rakta is going to be the next target here. Lasso's still online for Batrider. The BKB ready to go. The arrow's there. This is an Infest Bomb, but he's not going to leap forward. Q decides he needs to heal up, and Raxus are going to go down. Scythe have taken double Raxus now at 35 minutes into the game. They're going to back off. They'll play it safe. Roshan respawning now. And they can actually fall back and take that. MVP are on the hot pursuit, though. They want to find some kills here. Arrow forward on Pelosin. He's got Reincarnation in 20 seconds. That may be too long. Miracle's going to be the one getting lassoed here. Where is that grave? Chibix? Is he going to come in with this one? He needs to get... Actually, Miracle doesn't need the grave. He graves himself because he said he's not graving Miracle anyways. Miracle going to finish off Heen here. Miracle's the target. They want to go on, but the lifesteal, the Wraith King lifesteal keeps Miracle alive. He's still fighting. He wants March. He'll sure as hell get March as well. GG is called. He farms the Serpent Wards for good measure, and MVP have been 2-0'd by Singapore's finest. Scythe get themselves off to their first win of the Inaugural, their first game of the Inaugural. Best of 3, 2-0 victory. GG is called from both the two teams, and MVP, well, they had a good day, I gotta say, as far as the Dota they showed, because they played some impressive Dota, considering they're going up against, in my opinion, one of the best teams in Southeast Asia. Scythe, I would say, without a doubt, top 3 in Southeast Asia, and some would argue top 1, top 2. They're up there with Titan, they're up there with Arrow Gaming. Like, this to me is your top 3 in Southeast Asia, hands down. And MVP, they went toe-to-toe. They had a really close game 1, held on for 45 minutes, using their Ember Spirit plus Mag tactic. Game 2, they did a fantastic job ganking Miracle non-stop. But at the end of the day, Miracle was just so farm. That Midas giving him tons of experience, tons of farm. And, well, all said and done, it's a victory for the Singaporean side. So they take it 2-0, guys. That does it for the Inaugural for today. We've got WPC action over on Beyond the Summit 2, so head on over there and check it out. I think Alliance vs Empire is going to be our last match of today on WPC Dota 2 action. Beyond the Summit, twitch.tv/Beyond the Summit 2. But guys, a big thanks to everyone for tuning into the Inaugural as always. A big thanks to Twitch TV for sponsoring the tournament, as well as our other Beyond the Summit sponsors. You can check them out. It's 100tb.com. They're a server hosting provider for you guys for all your server hosting needs. If you want to host a server for whatever reason, I don't really I don't really know. Our other sponsor, of course, esportsventure.com. I know all about them. Those guys are a Dota 2 betting site. If you want to bet on Dota 2 matches, win some money, make yourself $322, go out and do it. Head on down to the link below the stream, because signing up through Beyond the Summit gets you a €5 bonus, as well as a 10% betting bonus on your first deposit. So when you make that first deposit to start betting on matches, you get €5 as well as 10% bonus on whatever you deposit. So good bonuses all through BTS. So you got to click the link below the stream. But guys, we're done for today, at least on Beyond the Summit 1. The inaugural is coming back tomorrow. We've got a best of 3 between MVP Phoenix and Orange Esports. That's at 9 p.m. So tune in tomorrow, 9 p.m. Singapore time, MVP Phoenix up against Orange Esports. Until then, guys, I'm Gods from Beyond the Summit. You can follow me at BTSGods on Twitter, facebook.com/BTSGods as well. And also be sure to follow Beyond the Summit on all your social media, at Beyond the Summit on Twitter, Beyond the Summit TV on Facebook. And you can check out all the VODs for any games you missed. That's Beyond the Summit TV on YouTube as well. So I'll upload these VODs as soon as possible if you missed any, guys. But until then, see y'all later.